Krishna is trying to tell us, like I thought it's like yama, niyama, and then dhyana, all those things. Is it not?
No, it is not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yama, niyama, etc. is it's part of Ashtanga Yoga.
Yoga.
So
Right.
here the focus is nididhyasanam, dhyanam. So one of the aspects, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama. So dharana, dhyana, samadhi. There is. So there,
Yes.
dhyanam. That the dhyanam that comes in that yama, niyamadi is what is the focus in this chapter.
So that dhyanam and this dhyana yoga is different?
No, I'm saying that dhyanam that is there in that yama, niyamadi. Yama, niyama, there is one aspect called dhyana. That
right.
dhyanam is the topic of this chapter.
Oh, okay. No, because he talks about karma yoga and then sannyasa yoga. Now it is dhyana yoga. So I was thinking what happened in between. So
Dhyana yoga. So we have to be a little careful here. So karma yoga and jnana yoga. Those are the two main things we have studied so far. And dhyana is not a new thing that's happening. Dhyana has to be either part of karma yoga or it has to be part of jnana yoga based on what we have studied. Okay. We can always split things up and then say there are many, many things. Okay. But we have to understand how those many things fit towards the end. Okay. That's what we have to understand. So here, dhyanam has to be part of karma yoga. Okay. Because it is again a means. It is a means for antakarana shuddhi. Anything that is a means for antakarana shuddhi should be put under karma yoga, including bhakti yoga. Okay. That is one way to look at it. Or you can split everything up. No, there is karma yoga, then there is bhakti yoga, there is dhyana yoga. All that is good. Fine. You can always split everything. But then what does it get you? You must be clear. What does dhyana yoga get you? What does karma yoga get you? What does bhakti yoga get you? That is what you have to be clear. Now we said we are after antakarana shuddhi. And then of course jnana yoga and jnana. Yeah, following me?
when you are explaining, you also said the bahiranga shuddhi and antaranga shuddhi.
Right. So bahiranga sadhana. So generally karma yoga, a big part of karma yoga is bahiranga sadhana, because it is about the attitude with which you do things. Correct? Doing means daily life, leading from the time we get up to the time we sleep. Therefore, it is all bahiranga. It's all bahiranga. It's an active life. It defines how an active life can be led. Okay. Therefore, bahiranga sadhana. So with that prasada buddhi and antakarana, prasada buddhi and ishwararpana buddhi, I do whatever I do. Whatever I do, it doesn't tell you what you should not do and should do. You do what you have to do. Dharma, as long as dharma. Adharma only we don't. So then that is bahiranga sadhana. Therefore, compared to that, dhyanam will be antaranga sadhana. Because there is no physical activity involved in dhyana. No physical activity. Yeah. That is why we are saying that. So it's not a new thing we are adding. In a way, we are not adding a new thing. It's new in the sense we have not, Krishna has not talked about dhyanam before. Therefore, it is new, no doubt. But it is still within the framework of karma yoga and jnana. Okay.
Jaykumarji, I just wanted to know what is the source of this one. You said like dhyanam as defined is like sajatiya vritti pravaha rupaha and saguna brahma vishaya manasa vyaparaha. All those. Where is this definition from? Because this is very nice. I mean, it kind of summarizes it very well.
Yeah. So I think it is Shankara's definition. I will check and let you know. Okay. That's a good question. It's a good challenge for me. So some of these definitions are Shankara's.
Okay.
Like, so he will define words when he explains these things.
Yeah,
in his
it's very crisp and clear.
Yeah. Shankara is like that. He just brings everything together and then makes it so clear for you. Yeah. So I'll find out where exactly it comes. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Good. So we can pause with that.
Jaykumarji, I have a question. Sorry. You said Dhyanam is not a source of knowledge. But people do say that they do get some kind of knowledge when they do Dhyanam, and, like they do have I don't know what exactly, because I am not there, but they say like, it is helpful for them to know who they are, or, like there is like, you are like the Purusha Khyati or whatever that is maintained, explaining Yoga Shastra, that you become the Drashta, and it's very clear to you because every vritti is quietened down and your focus is there, you are ekagra or in niruddha state. So there is knowledge about yourself, right? They are knowing what they are. Why do you say that it is not a means of knowledge?
Yeah. Suppose somebody says, oh, what happened? Did you get it? Yeah, I got it. It was a full moon day that day. So I got it that day. Suppose somebody says that. Full moon day. I got it on full moon day. That means what? Is full moon the cause for the knowledge? Huh? Can we say all of us should meditate? Make sure you use the full moon day and meditate on that day. Can Shastram say that?
No, but then what is that is explained by Patanjali Maharshi in Yoga Sutras, when he says in Dhyanam, you do have this kind of vision, or you do feel that you are almost like the Purusha that you are, all the Prakriti falls off. That isn't that a knowledge about yourself?
So it facilitates, it triggers, it creates an
So it's
environment
not Atman that you would know there.
It creates an environment for you, for knowledge to take place. Correct? And that doesn't mean it is the cause for knowledge. That's what we're saying. Cause for knowledge is pramana. Pramana. So pramanam is needed. For any knowledge to take place, a pramanam is needed. A pramana. And you can only know using that pramanam, which is shastram. Shastram is the pramana. The dhyanam there's no shravanam in dhyanam, correct? There's no shravanam in dhyanam. Dhyanam is not meant for listening to the shastra. Unless one is gone to nice sleep, then he wakes up at 8 o'clock and then class is over. I watched shravanam in dhyanam. Unless they say that, but that's not dhyanam anyway. And so knowledge can take place. Knowledge can take place anytime. It doesn't have to take place only when you're meditating. It can take place now. So therefore we can't say dhyanam is a cause for knowledge. Then at least those who don't do dhyanam will not get knowledge. Or we won't know something when you're awake, when you're talking, when you're thinking, it's a waking state. You can't, that also you can't say. Therefore, knowledge is different. Pramana janyam jnana. Pramajanya. So that's the clarity that Shankara brings here. So dhyanam is a state of mind where anything can happen. Yes, all that you said is true. Things can happen, but you don't attribute it to dhyanam. Dhyanam it creates a nice environment for you to calm down, for the mind to stay focused on what it should focus on. Otherwise, that time you may not be able to get during the day. That's the idea here. Yeah, that's the idea.
Knowledge can happen even in awake state is what you're saying. So dhyanam need not be the prerequisite.
Yeah, so dhyanam is being done, but knowledge can happen anytime.
Okay.
Because that is the nature of knowledge. Once ignorance goes, knowledge comes. That's it. Nobody can stop it. All the knowledge we have gained is only during waking state only.
Mm-hmm.
In waking state, alert state, in a class we have learned. And in homework, doing homework, we have understood. And at home, we have understood. All in waking state. Correct? Knowledge always requires that pramanam to operate. The operation has to happen. So alertness must be there. And it can happen during meditation also, because meditation is also an alert state. It is also waking state only. It is not different from waking state. One has to be awake. If one is sleeping, then it is not dhyanam anyway.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Right.
But dhyanam, Jagumarji, dhyanam is a tool to control the mind or to rein in the mind to jumping around. So since that is one of the prerequisite to get the jnana, so this is one of the tools, isn't it?
Yes. Surely. Chitta Naischalyam.
So
if you want to use a word there, Chitta Naischalyam.
And the way I thought the way it was different from other karma yoga we thus far learned is because all we learned was external, this is internal or inward looking.
Yeah, Antaranga sadhana. So only using the mind. Inward looking also I won't say.
Okay.
What are all the things of your body you're using? That is a question to ask. By that definition, it is Antaranga.
Antaranga, okay.
Only the mind is being used. That's all.
Mind.
Inward looking, even in Shravanam, it is inward looking only. Even now we are looking at Atma. We are assessing Atma. So it is still inward looking. But in Dhyanam, you are only using the mind.
No, but in Dhyanam we say, no, all external thoughts keep external and all. So we are focused on only for that moment. So whereas in the rest of the like Bahiranga, we can, that is all actions. The only difference is like you do it with Ishwararpana Buddhi and Ishwara Prasad. We continue to do the same actions.
So your question is?
My question is the Karma Yoga so far we learned was a change in attitude, right? So, but actions were same. We are not asking anybody to do anything different other than follow the Dharma. And here we are trying to, what do you call, rein in the mind, which we never talked so far, even though we said it is one of the prerequisite. So this is a step 3 or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
So that's why I understood. I don't know.
Correct. It's a way to, since the mind is an important part of this study, and so appreciating that Atma, which is Atma Swarupa, which is Satchidananda Atma, so that mind is plays an important role. And so the ability to see an unagitated mind, to have a mind that can stay put, is becomes very important. So yeah, everything you said is right. Yeah.
So is it then, is there a chapter on focus or ekagra buddhi?
Yeah. Is there a chapter on ekagra buddhi? I mean, this is the Atma Samyama is generally,
because in some Tattva Bodha we talked about ekagra buddhi in Tattva Bodha class. That is also considered one of the prerequisite. So I'm saying, so we covered.
Yeah, Chitta Ekagrata. Chitta Ekagrata, Samadhi, maybe he's defined that for Samadhi also. Samadhi. So that Shama, Dhamma, etc. So there he defines it. Yeah.
Right. So so he talks about all that. So I'm thinking, since we are taking one after another, I'm just assuming it will be something.
Yeah. No, Chitta, I don't think there's, I mean, this Atma Samyama is the Chitta Ekagrata. Yeah.
Okay. And one question from the 5th chapter, the last conclusion. Why we are saying karma sannyasa yoga? It's the same as karma jnana yoga, right?
Yeah, a different title is given. Because previous, what is the previous chapter was Jnana Karma Sannyasa, right?
Right.
Here also it is Jnana Karma Sannyasa topic.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Karma
yeah.
Sannyasa is only by Jnana. The other sannyasa, the ashrama sannyasa is karma sannyasa. So that may be the reason they have given, because ashrama sannyasa also talked about here. So ashrama sannyasa need not be by knowledge, right? It can be for knowledge, and so therefore karma sannyasa.
Okay.
So just a slight difference there. So we don't, there is not a big line, wall between these two chapters.
No, I thought maybe because we didn't want to use they didn't want to use the same word again, rather than, transposing them as jnana karma and karma jnana, they said karma sannyas.
Yeah, it's a different title given, even though the topic
that may
is
be-
similar. Yeah. So summary, what do you give? What title do you give to a chapter that summarizes the last 3 chapters, right?
Yeah, so to avoid repetition, I mean, that is with, I've seen in several slokas or even Sanskrit, when I learn, they never repeat the same word. They use a synonym or something else.
Correct.
So,
Yeah, Meera and Narayana, go ahead.
Guruji, namaste. This Vijatiya Vritti Rahita Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha Saguna Brahma Vishaya Manas Vyaparaha, what you were explaining. Similar to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, where he says Sadhu Dirgha Kala Nairantarya Satkar Adara Sevito Dhrida Bhumi. Till you need to continuously practice for a long period of time in order to establish yourself in that state. But then there is a difference there. He always, the ultimate goal of Patanjali is only the state. He's talking about samadhi, and as somebody was mentioning, like even the I don't remember exactly what she was trying to say. But then different states of samadhi is what Patanjali is talking about, and all the siddhis, samyamas, what he speaks about is, he says, don't get carried away, because they are only indicators to say that you are moving in the right direction. Because that's what it is. So what my question was, what exactly is chitta shuddhi? Like here he talks about chitta vritti nirodha, which I have somehow found out it's out of question, because chitta vrittis cannot be, completely cessation of chitta vritti cannot happen, because when I refer to this jnana yoga, you mentioned that one thought on Bhagavan is what you have to hold on to. And probably Patanjali goes to say that all that object, perceiver, perception, everything merges and becomes one. That is when you attain samadhi. That's what he's trying to say. But then here, since it's only one of the means, it is not the goal. This is not the goal for what you are looking for, because knowledge is that is what you are. So that completeness is what you are. So now from there to this, that leap, what has chitta shuddhi to do there? What is that chitta shuddhi from there to here? What is that which is missing, which a person can pursue to understand?
Yeah, so the question is this. Chitta Shuddhi we've been talking about. And then, so what role meditation, dhyanam plays? Okay. The key point that was mentioned, Meeraji mentioned also, is Patanjali, the disciplines there, the goal is samadhi, which is freeing the mind of thoughts, to put it in simple language, correct? I think you all agree with that. I mean, I've not studied Patanjali Yoga that much. I've just briefly looked at this, but you all have studied quite a bit. So samadhi, so nirvikalpa samadhi, for example, if you say, then vikalpa rahita samadhi means a mind that is free of thoughts. Okay. If you ask, is it possible? Is it just possible? And we are all in Nirvikalpa Samadhi periodically. In deep sleep, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Deep sleep is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. But if you want that state when you're awake, then you have to take the help of Patanjali Maharshi and then do that, all the asana, pranayama, etc. And then this dhyanam also is part of that. And what is that? Is dhyanam is the means for Nirvikalpa Samadhi. What I want to do is I want to talk about it. Let me do this. I will talk about it in the beginning of the next class because many people have left, and this is an important topic. So we can understand. Okay, Patanjali Maharshi is there, and then this dhyanam is there. You know, what is the dhyanam here different from the dhyanam in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra? So Ashtanga Yoga Dhyanam is there. So what is the difference? Is there a difference, etc.? And she's already answered the question, but we'll make it explicit and talk about it in the next class. Okay, so that everybody needs to know that.
Some of the dharana, the steady flow of thoughts to a specific object, Patanjali actually also refers it to as dharana.
Dharana, correct.
So dharana and this dhyana, is it the same, or this dhyana is different from that dharana, or is dharana equivalent to manana in this context? Steady flow of thoughts towards a constant thought on that. Is it manana? Then it does it become manana?
And I also understand at some point that Patanjali Maharshi is talking about, Chitta Shuddhi. I understand while reading the shlokas is completely disidentifying from your own self. That is, you are surrendering your ego, something like that. You don't have that feeling of I am doing something, which is similar to what Shri Krishna also is mentioning here in the 5th chapter, where Kayena Manasa Buddhya, like everything you surrender, all your actions should be in the name of the Lord. Where he also mentions about Ishvara Pranidhana. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra also there is a similarity, like completely surrender. So surrender what? I was just thinking, probably to get yourself de-identified that I am doing stuff, I am not the doer. Probably that's the reason where it is relating more to Karma Yoga, like I am not the doer, maybe to get rid of that Kartritvam. And once you get rid of that, maybe you are there. That's what, and the whole process is only that, I feel. End of the day, just to feel that I am not doing anything.
Correct. So that's the way we look at it. And whether that is the goal of Patanjali Maharshi is something that, Ashtanga Yogis have to answer.
Clear.
Okay. So there, that is not the goal. Generally, the way I've studied it is Ashtanga Yoga, that is not the goal.
Samadhi is the goal.
Samadhi is the goal.
Samadhi is the goal.
Samadhi is the goal, and we say Samadhi is not moksha. So we'll make it clear in the next class, okay?
Ashtanga Yoga, he also says Ashtanga Yoga will finally lead to Raja Yoga. And Raja Yoga is Jnana Yoga.
Right. So there he connects. So he connects.
But still the goal is always there is a separation between me and Ishvara. It's similar to Sankhya. It is not like you are Ishvara. It's not Vedanta.
Correct. Good. So we'll cover these points. So there is still Dvaita there. Correct.
Yes.
Definitely. I'll summarize these thoughts in the next class. Very important topic, so everybody can hear it. Yeah, Ani, go ahead.
So yeah, maybe this will also get covered next time, Guruji. But Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha Rupa, I understood that to mean that you need in the meditation process, get the mind to focus on, as we said, your Ishwar, your focus on the Ishwara Rupa that sort of close to you, resonates to you, or whatever. That's what I took that to mean, and maybe we'll talk about that in the next class. I had a question, but then I think a lot of the things already circled around this point, so I just wanted to make a mention of that.
Yeah, the dhyanam that we have been doing, once in 2 weeks, that is basic dhyan.
Yes,
it is basic dhyan. It is not nididhyasa. Okay, so it is not the topic of this chapter.
Sure.
Right? We need to be clear about that. Because there we are visualizing our Ishta Devata, and then we are recalling certain things we studied in the Bhagavad Gita,
Yes.
and then emphasizing just one point, and then let go, and then kind of chant Bhagavan Nama, and then
Yes.
stay with it. That's what it is. So that is very important. That is dhyanam. That is not nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam is different, and we'll talk more when we get a chance. Yeah.
So just that what we did, as you said, Ishta Devata, then one of the shlokas, that is Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha Rupa. Is
correct.
That
is Sajatiya Vritti. Correct.
That was the thing I just wanted a confirmation. That's
Sajatiya
that's
Vritti.
Jaykumar,
the rest we
since
can
it is
cover.
since it is related to this question I was asking, so basically what dhyanam in this chapter Sri Krishna is telling is the Ekarupa Ishvara dhyanam. Basically, that is what we discussed when we said that is when you are concentrating on your Ishta Devata and the qualities of that and meditating on that, that is basically Ekarupa Ishvara dhyanam. Is that what he's suggesting here?
Yeah,
Or Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa is definitely not probably now. I don't know. I'm guessing. But what we are doing here is Ekarupa Ishvara Dhyanam.
Yeah, we do Ekarupa Ishvara Dhyanam because that is the easiest. So what we do is we say, so in our Shastram, study of Shastram, the progression is like this. When we study the Shastram, we begin to understand, then we begin to minimize the number of devatas we worship until that number becomes one. Correct? So initially we try to make everybody happy. Some Ganesha onwards to Shiva is there, and by the way, Vishnu also, oh, I should take care of Vishnu just in case something happens. So keep everybody, and Lakshmi, of course, Lakshmi is not happy, then Vishnu won't be happy. And so all these problems are there. So we keep everybody happy. Then at some point we have to come down to one, focus on one Ishta Devata. And then focus on that. Then Mahavakyam will strike. So it becomes, so because then why am I worshipping many devatas? That means Dvaita is very much there. Dvaita is very, you are different from me and you are different. Your qualities are different. Ganesha is different. He does different things to me. Shiva does different things to me. And like this Devi is different, entirely different. So all different. Upanishad says, Nedam Yadidam Upasate. No, Brahma is more than that. And you are that Brahma, not the one that you are worshipping. Like that, Upanishad makes a very bold statement. So Eka Rupa, back to your question, Eka Rupa Ishvara Dhyana. Correct. That is what it is. Now, it doesn't mean that there we can replace Krishna by Rama, we can replace Rama by Ganesha, all this we can do. Okay, but Eka Rupa. So Dhyanam is Eka Rupa Ishvara generally. And in our Dhyanam, we don't, we try to stay focused on one Ishta Devata.
Yeah.
That is what is needed. That is what is needed for Dhyana. And
Thank you, Jaykumar.
Stay focused on, yeah.
Yes.
Raghumarji, our Upakarma, the Sankalpam, we say 33 crore Devata, right? Trimshat Koti Devata, that's right. So we are shrinking from 33 crores to one.
It's a pretty big task. Yeah, I think so. You're right. So we are getting into the real way. Without knowing, we are getting into we're going to do a huge project here.
Yeah. So that's what I know. I just did the Upakarma. I know. The Mahasankalpam says 33 crores.
Right. Yeah, Vijayji, go ahead.
Jaykumar ji.
1 minute. Yeah, Vijay and.
Yeah, well, yeah, I had just one question. I have heard about a state of Kaivalya, which is beyond Samadhi, I'm told. I don't know what it is. So would you be touching upon that also? What exactly that would be?
Yeah, Kaivalya is Kevalasya Bhava. Yeah, we'll talk about it also. It's Kaivalya is really Atma Jnana. Kaivalya is Atma Jnana. So the problem we are facing is all these books have romanticized this so much that everybody wants that experience. And so there is one person calls it Kaivalya, another person calls it Nirvana, another person in different language. We have all these different, another person calls Samadhi. No, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So this goes on and on and on. So that's why experience can always be different. No two experiences are identical, correct? Suppose Guruji says you will get this experience if you do this meditation for some time. Still, your experience cannot be identical to Guruji's experience. If two experiences that are not identical are there, then what do you call it? Where do you draw the line? Which experience is supposed to be a greater experience than the other experience? Tell me, how are you going to do all this analysis? It won't work. Therefore, experience is not moksha. Correct?
Correct.
Prasad, go ahead.
I just want to share the meaning of the no mind. So all the modifications of the mind resulting into no mind, which is amani bhava. So I think the Patanjali Yoga Sutra is based on that. So I'm just talking about the no mind, and which is actually the duality is no longer recognized with the no mind. No grasping mind resulting into no grasping mind, basically. Is that what we can say that the result of at the end of the yoga when we do the dhyana? The no mind, which is amani bhava, which is like so grasping mind. So with all the modifications, chitta vritti nirodha, when they're all settled down, which is resulting into no mind. Even Buddhist side also they talk about the no mind, which is the duality is no longer recognized when that state is reached.
Yeah, so that is the thing about this Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Amani Bhava, all those are synonyms. And so when there's no thought, when there is no thought in the mind, then the perception of duality is not there. Because no perception is there. When no perception is there, then it's as though duality is gone.
No.
And so how do you reconcile that with the duality that is there? That also in the side we have to think about. Duality is not there in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. But then after you wake up, when what? But stomach is hungry, then what will you do? When stomach is hungry, you don't say Nirvikalpa Samadhi. You then all Samadhi, keep it in the back seat for a while. I'll come back. I'll have my Rasagulla, come back and then do again Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Right? So we have to reconcile all these things. That's the beauty. We have to, the beauty of this Shankaracharya and our Acharyas is they have figured that out. We have to, what does it mean to me finally? What has happened here? How do I connect with the teaching? Otherwise, what will happen? We'll have all these pockets of knowledge. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, one pocket is there. Then my family problem pocket is there. Then all these pockets are there. And nothing, everything is distinct, and I cannot connect these things together, So we have to, that's the beauty of this. And so yeah, Amani Bhava is another word. I've heard that before. And I think it refers to this Nirvikalpa Samadhi, thoughtless mind. And that's important because it helps you appreciate that the mind, perhaps the mind is the cause for the duality, that I take so seriously and I feel bound by that. So it's a way to appreciate, but it's a means, it's not an end. Yeah. We'll talk
And there
about
is
that.
difference, like when I open the eyes after yoga, whereas Vedantic approach is whether I close it or open, it is the knowledge, right? Which is leading to finally moksha.
Yeah.
So the moment I open the eyes, my yoga is gone.
Correct. We have to think about that. Yeah. So somebody E0C, is that Rukmini ji?
Yeah, I am Rukmani here, Jaykumarji. This Sajatiya Pravahascha Vijatiya Ratiriskritihi is in Aparoksha Anubhuti, sloka number 104.
There you go. That's it.
Sajatiya Pravahascha Vijatiya Ratiriskritihi Niyamo hi paranando niyamat kriyate Budaihi.
Okay. Yeah, 104 Aparokshanubhuti. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll look it up. So Aparokshanubhuti, another text written by Adi
Shankaracharya.
Good. Any other questions? Thank you, Rukmini ji.
Thank you.
Very interesting session, Guruji.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll all meet on Wednesday. Okay.
धन्यवादः जय कुमार जी.
धन्यवादः गुरुजी.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय धन्वन्तरये अमृतकलशहस्ताय सर्वामय विनाशनाय त्रैलोक्यनाथाय श्री महाविष्णवे नमः. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय धन्वन्तरये अमृतकलशहस्ताय सर्वामय विनाशनाय त्रैलोक्यनाथाय श्री महाविष्णवे नमः. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय धन्वन्तरये अमृतकलशहस्ताय सर्वामय विनाशनाय त्रैलोक्यनाथाय श्री महाविष्णवे नमः.